Hey, everybody, happy Valentine's Day from your boy. I hope everybody is having a great Valentine's Day. I know it's an early start for the stream, and usually I go at 12 noon, but it's Valentine's Day, and I have this lovely, lovely little girl that I am taking on a lunch date. And I wanted to try to do the stream a little earlier today just to kind of say thank you to you guys and girls that watch the stream and support, as well as just kind of, shoot the proverbial shit and just say what's up and just say happy Wednesday. I know it's typically this is a comic book day, which I still will be going to the comic book shop, but that will be after I have my lunch date with Rory. And then I'll be buying dinner for my wife and my daughter, Lana, because they are going to be coming home from school, and my wife has a class tonight, so I want to make sure that they feel special. I have little gifts for them already. Roy hasn't opened up her Valentine's Day gifts yet, uh, but yeah, I just wanted to say what's up and see how everybody's doing, and hear about the pickups. And this was actually a pickup I mentioned last week that I got. That was to show you guys that we're kind of already in the spirit. I got my wife a matching one. Rory has a Valentine's outfit on already, and she has a bluey hoodie she's gonna wear when we go out. Now, I will go over a couple of pickups that I did get in the mail. Um, Really, just the one because I've shown you guys the other ones. Um, I do have two more items coming in the mail, so let's obviously show this amazing figure off, which is Cyborg Superman. Amazing figure. Like, been wanting. He has been on my wish list from Mayfex for about a year. When I saw the demo shots of him, and then I just didn't have the opportunity to purchase them, and then Big Bad Toys threw him up for 45% off and snatched him up. So now I already have pre-ordered the Teen Superboy, and then I need the Black Kryptonian armor. And then Dave, big shout out to you, sent me the pre-order link on Amazon for Eradicator. So I will have all the Reign of the Superman figures in Mafex form. And then Batman, I'm going to start picking up the Batman figures from Hush all the way up to what was it? The Dark Knight Returns. I don't know if I want the Superman or I might want the Batman because that Batman looks fire. Because I love that armor, the bat suit armor that he wears, and the Robin I might get just to have as the Robin because I have Damian already in Mezco form. I will get Nightwing in Mafex. Um, no, I did not pre-order the new Mezco Robin, like the original Dick Grayson Robin from the 60s. I did not like that figure. I mean, yeah, it looks good, it'll scale, but it's not. I like Nightwing, the figure Nightwing, better than I like that Mezco. So if you're here in the chat, please, folks, comment away. Let me know what you guys are thinking of. Let me know what you guys are looking at. I mean, there's a lot going on. There is a lot. So right now, I just saw Big Bad Toys put out their pre-orders, and officially the comic Carnage is back up for pre-order, which he is a must need for my Spider-Man collection. I love the comic Carnage figure. It looks dope. I was not really expecting a whole lot, but and then I see that and wow, Mayfix Wolverine. Okay, Mayfix and so X Force Wolverine and X Force Deadpool are on sale. I think Wolverine will be purchased because Wolverine looks dope in that gray armor. And Deadpool, I've been wanting a Deadpool, and I was thinking about that, so I might pick those both up. Hey, Nostalgic Toys, what's up? It's good to have you here. Um, but yeah, like y'all know, I watch a lot of my fellow YouTubers, and one of the things I've noticed across a lot of the YouTubers, and I'm gonna shout out my boy Yukon Phil, because he recently posted to Facebook that he's out of the Black Series game. Now, this is a guy that I know is a huge Star Wars fan, huge Transformers fan. And to see him actually purge his Black Series collection, something that he's curated in the time I've known him, was a big surprise to me. And I won't disagree. I feel like Hasbro has really dropped the ball. And not just in Black Series, just dropped the ball in general. And a lot of it now, if you guys also watch one of my other friends, Hey Archer, he recently kind of was talking about over the last couple of nerdy coffees, McFarlane stepping in to do page punchers with Hasbro and their GI Joe, and they're stepping in to do a couple more page punchers of Marvel characters. It seems like Hasbro is outsourcing a lot of their stuff and keeping, really nothing in house anymore. You know, and a lot of the crowdfunding is where they're making their bread and butter. And if you guys don't agree with me, I mean, feel free to comment and disagree with me. Feel free to, if you do catch this on the replay, comment in the replay and just be like, yeah, I don't agree with you, Dre, and give me the reason why. But I mean, just from what I've been seeing, retail outlets have been dead. For lack of a better way of saying it, if you're a toy hunter, where are you hunting? Like, I mean, I do see where people hunt, and I think it's stupid that you're still going to Ross's because the algorithm wants there and all that other BS. But I mean, is that really where you're seeing everything at? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. I've kind of been on the fence with where people are telling me that they're hunting because, you know, for lack of a better way of saying it, I keep hearing there are opportunities everywhere for toy hunters, but I don't really see it. And maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me. All right, nostalgic. You said N. I don't know what N is. Is that no? I need a little bit more context. One of the big things I will admit, though, folks, is that I'm kind of on the at an impasse. For those of you that know, I shop and buy a lot of my stuff online, and I don't toy hunt. Like toy hunting for me, it does is non-existent. Like if I go to Target to do a Target run, or if I go to Walmart, I will hit their toy sections, but I don't actively go like I used to, where I had like 3 times a week. I knew what days to go look for new toys. I go to my local comic shop and I will pay a little bit more to guarantee if a figure I want is there. You know, See, and I agree with you. I agree with you, nostalgic. I feel that way. Like a lot of it, like yeah, I know you do shop at Walmart and Targets, like we all do. I mean, everybody does. Every collector will still hit a Walmart and Target up for their things. But if you're a vintage collector, there's a show Dave and I have talked about it with a couple of the other guys to discuss kind of where we are seeing the trend move. You know, if if you are a fan of vintage toys, you're spending as much as a person who collects high end 1/12th, 1/6th, 1/10th scale figures. If you think about it, because some vintage figures cost as much as a Mafex figure does. You can get an older figure that was from our childhood, that was like $6, $5, $4, and now it costs like $70 because maybe it's a rarity, maybe it was a variant, whatever you want to look at it as, versus getting like a Mafex or a SH Figure Arts or whatever thing like that. And I think that's interesting that we've kind of reached that place where we are seeing the rise of the vintage collector and the vintage toys again. I mean, it's been always slow and steady, and the pandemic brought that back. But I've been seeing it more and more in a lot of the YouTubers I followed, like Century the Mad Collector. You know, he would still go to like a Target or Walmart, but I haven't. When I watch his videos, I mean, he's hitting up these really cool like vintage toy stores, and he's building out a very amazing collection. You know, Big Dub, he still collects a lot of current line stuff. He and his daughter, but a lot of their stuff is still vintage too because he picks up a lot of the vintage Lord of the Rings figures. So there is a market, a viewership for vintage. I just don't. It's not for me. I grew up with those toys. I have them, but vintage is just not my thing. I respect you guys that collect it because I think it's very cool to see it, and but it's just not like my shtick. You know, I love Spider Man, which you guys can see right there. I have posters. I have some of the Marvel Legends, like Thor's hammer. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff I collect, but vintage is just not my stilo. But yeah, I do. Even antique malls are very good, and I've even seen antique malls for modern stuff too. A lot of places are going that route of like opening up. Like I know Phil, Yukon Phil, he goes to places and you'll see like they open up an antique mall, and then you'll see like a lot of newer stuff and new-ish stuff. Like I don't want to say vintage, but it's like '90s, early 2000 action figures are still making their way into these antique malls, so people are still grabbing them up. But I could do a whole video about the price of those figures at those places because a lot of these guys and women and men that are doing these shows or going to these antique stores are trying to sell eBay prices. Like they're basing their stuff off of eBay. They're not looking at like trends, value, and a lot of them don't know. And I've kind of been curious as to why. Like I get it to an extent. Like, all right, you want to pick up your figures, you know what you have, but is it fair for you to mark up to an eBay price, but you're paying? It's a retail store. Yeah, nostalgic. I've been pleasantly. We have where I live in Charlotte. Well, I live way outside the city of Charlotte. Let's just get that straight. So there's an antique little couple of stores right where in my downtown area, like right where like 6 minutes, not even 5 minutes from my house. I can literally walk there from my house to our downtown area, and there are antique stores. My mom, when may she rest in peace, used to shop at them, and you'd be surprised sometimes. Like my wife has told me, she's like, "Did you see in the window? Like they look like they had like some newer toys," and I was like, and my wife doesn't buy stuff like she doesn't collect like that. She collects other books and stuff, but she will let me know. She's like, "Hey, maybe you should check it out. Look who it is. What up, Phil? I was just talking about you. That's how you know your ears must have been burning." But yeah, like there's the trend I've seen in the move is to get away from those things. And it's like more and more, especially here in Charlotte, we have at least, I want to say, five really good like vintage toy stores, but they're so spread out and far away from each other. Like three of them are like within like about a 10-minute drive of each other, and they're about like an hour and a half away from me. So it's like they're out where my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law live. My wife's brother lives out that way. And what sucks is that like if I want to go there, which I've gone there once or twice, it's just such a long drive that I just don't. It's like if I don't find it's vintage, I don't collect it. But I've gone out there a few times to sell collections off because they were the only stores that were interested in buying some of the pieces I was selling. Like I was trying to sell off a lot of my wrestling figures at one point, and this one store, which was God, I can't. They are actually pretty big in the convention community up and down the East Coast for selling toys. The gentleman there, the owner, I met with him, very nice guy, bought my wrestling collection, bought some of my newer figures, and ended up getting like $500 of their store credit. And like I used it and I picked up some cool stuff there. and that was when I was still collecting. That was when I was actively collecting Transformers, and then I eventually sold that collection off. But yeah, like there's a lot. You'd be surprised. Um, and like I was, and Phil, just to bring you into the fold, I was talking about how I saw on Facebook you were selling a lot of your Black series, and it was interesting to see that you left the collection, or that left your collection. And more power to you. You know, I always believe in to collect what you love, but it's interesting to see that your collection has changed in the time that I've known you, and I respect you for that. So that's kind of where that is. Now, why do I feel like collections have changed? And just for y'all, and this is not a cheap plug, but it may be considered a cheap plug. Phil, I will be on Phil's show on March the 2nd. We haven't figured out a time yet, but Phil and I are going to be talking about how this channel has changed, how I have changed from the time Phil has known me to now. My channel has changed significantly in not just its content, but I don't think the content has really changed. It's more of what I do with the show and where I've gone. And it's going to be a lot of fun to talk with Phil. Phil and I will talk wrestling more than likely. We will definitely talk wrestling, especially which I will mention that now. Uh, 100% that SmackDown show Lana and I went to was amazing. I have not been to a WWE live event since I was first dating my wife, and that was like what 6 years ago. Oh, we're gonna talk wrestling, Phil. Don't no doubt, no doubt. Um, but when I took Lana, Lana went to and I say WWE. Lana's first wrestling show she ever went to. My wife, Lana, and my best friend Big Chris and we all went to an NXT show in Cabarrus, and Matt Riddle headlined the show against Adam Cole for the NXT World Title. That's just how you know how long it's been since I've seen a show from NXT, and that was like 6 years ago. So we went to SmackDown, and I have to admit, coming off of the WrestleMania press conference, I had high expectations for the show. I knew I was going to spend a lot of money there, like, and folks, for you guys and girls that are taking your kids to these live events, I'm definitely going to let you guys know live events are becoming cashless venues. So for you guys that either send your kids to these shows with friends, they don't like, take cash anymore. Nobody took cash. I literally took out like $100 cash, and I didn't even end up spending. I ended up using it after when we were driving home to get like a snack and to put gas in my car. Like it was ridiculous. But if you are going to these venues, they use debit cards, credit cards. That's it. Like that's all they were taking. And did I get my two wrestling T-shirts I wanted? Yes, I took pictures. I got the "Claim Your Kingdom" with Pharaoh, Cody's dog, um, and I got the "Hell Froze Over" shirt for CM Punk. Because if I ordered them on the website, which this is what was cool about WWE versus AEW, um, their merch booths, all their T-shirts are what they sell on the website. It's not like they're T-shirts made for the road. These were all T-shirts that were very good quality, like something you would expect to buy off of WWE's website. Even when the dude flipped the little iPad over, the iPad was the WWE shop, and he just hit the buttons and was like, "Oh, you want that shirt? You want this shirt? Here's your price." And I was like, "This is awesome! Like, why is AEW not doing this? Like, you guys can make bank by doing this." But I digress. So between like getting the Chick-fil-A in the arena, which my wife was like, "What the hell is wrong with you, Dre? You could have gotten food for you and Lana like at Chick-fil-A." I said, "We were talking, we were listening to music, we were bonding." I didn't think anything about that crap. And then the parking was actually not that expensive. If I had reserved a parking ticket, like a parking pass, it would have been like $70 for like a spot reserved at a lot. I went to an open air lot, paid 20 bucks. So, just for you guys and girls that do decide to take your kids to live events, be mindful. I mean, I'm going to another live event for AEW, and that's going to be Sting's last match, and that's in March. That's March 3rd. So the day after I do Phil's show, I'll be going right. I'll be getting up early with my best friend. He and I are driving to Greensboro, and I probably won't be back till late Sunday night. But I took off. I took off work, so it's the first time I'm actually going to a pay per view for AEW. I've been to Collisions, I've been to Dynamites, I've been to Fight for the Fallens, and I've been to Battle of the Belts. But I've never been to a pay-per-view. And this is Revolution, so it's going to be the full 3-hour event. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully Okada shows up. That's where they say that he's supposed to be at. We all know Mercedes Monet's coming in a couple weeks. So before the show, so I'm excited. Like I'm super excited. Um, but yeah, AEW, step up your t-shirt game because I had to order my shirts in better quality from your shop AEW, which is Pro Wrestling Tees, and that took like 3 weeks for me to get my two shirts, my Eddie Kingston and my Sting shirt, versus WWE, which it took only 4 days. So that's just that's just that. So what about movies? This week is Madam Web. Now, a lot of people are hating on this movie. IGN already rated the movie a 5 out of 10. Um, it got supposedly Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 18%. It's already certified rotten. Again, I'm gonna say this. I don't care what the aggregators say because people shitted on Aquaman 2, and Aquaman 2 was a really good movie. People shitted on the Marvels, and people still shit on the Marvels. And I loved the Marvels movie. I had a good time. My wife and my daughters and I had a great time. That's part of that movie going experience. Yeah, was the story bad? Yes. Was I happy with the after credits trailers? Yes. Would I go back and rewatch the movie again? Yes, I will. I will own it on Blu-ray when it comes out on Blu-ray because it's my wife's favorite superhero. I mean, I'm sorry. I think it's stupid that people are going to shit all over movies because they think you think your opinion's better than everybody else. Fuck you. Your opinion's not. But I'm not gonna like I said. I'm not gonna hate on everybody for I think it's stupid when people start saying, "Well, my opinion is this," and blah 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 blah. Well, good on you. I'm still gonna go see Madam Web. I'm a Spider-Man fan. It's a way for us to see this area of the Spider Verse without a Spider-Man, without Venom, without Carnage. I mean, like this is actually a the first Spider film without three of the major players that make Spider-Man. You know, and I should really say four major players because Miles Morales across the Spider Verse has proven that Miles Morales is our Spider-Man for this generation. And Peter Parker, yes, he's still Peter Parker, but like if you take apart that you have Tom Hardy as Venom, you have Woody Harrelson as Carnage, Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Shamiak Moore. They're your Spider Men. Your Miles and your Peter Parkers. You have a whole Spider Verse that is not being touched, and they're introducing these characters. Does it look good? I don't know. It looks kind of cheesy, like a lot of people said. It's you know I always love to run movies by my wife. And if for people that don't know, my wife is not a comic book fan. She likes going to see comic book movies because she likes the fiction. She likes the special effects. She likes seeing that stuff. But I showed her the trailer. I was like, "What do you think?" My wife is a big fan of female protagonists. You know, I am as well. I'd like to see more female characters be protagonists in movies, and I'm excited to see this movie on the fact that it's not Spider-Man, it's not Peter Parker, it's not Venom, it's not Carnage. You know, yeah, are we getting those films? Yes, we are. Do we know what we're getting? Yeah, next year. We know next year. We know that we have Deadpool, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Because I know everybody's itching for me to talk about it. I know they're waiting for Dave and I to talk about it. We will. If you look at Madam Web as a standalone movie, it probably is not going to hold its weight. But I still want to see it. Deadpool 3 trailer, or as it's now been called, Deadpool and Wolverine. We now know the title. We know this. We have an idea of the story from the trailer. You know, a lot of people have pulled the trailer apart, and there's been a Mirage. We have seen. Not only have we seen what the trailer has to offer, we're seeing what the story can possibly potentially be. You know, we know Wade, he's alive and well, which we knew he was from Deadpool 2. Um, Morena Baccarin, we knew her character died in Deadpool 2. So she's back in the trailer. We know the TVA's involved, which we knew he had a device from Cable, which was mimicking the TVA. So he had the ability to jump dimensions. So we knew about that. There's a lot of nuances. Yes, I've seen all the people screenshot each of the clips. I mean, yeah, we're getting Pyro back, which I think is kind of cool. I know people are suspecting or expecting one of these characters is to be Doctor Doom. You know, is that Doctor Doom going to be in this movie? You know, is the sand on the planet that Wolverine comes up to look like he's fighting Deadpool? Is that War World? What's going on? So there are several factors that I'm interested in, and there's my little peanut being silly, trying to be on camera. Um, that's one of my Valentines right there. Um, if you guys and girls are not picking up that this is War World, this is the setup for War World. Marvel had to pivot after the whole, after the whole thing with the court case, and it's kind of sucks that they had to pivot, but Jonathan Majors, he did some effed up things. He got in trouble. Whether he did or didn't, that's up to the courts to decide. Disney didn't want any part in it. They've recast Kang. I know that they're looking at Denzel's son, or the tenant actor, the creator actor. He's a hell of an actor. I'd love to see him do Kang. I think he'll kill it. Um, I know that they've released the final draft of the actors that they've picked for Fantastic Four. But Deadpool 3 already has given us the tongue-in-cheek proof that we're getting Secret Wars on the horizon. And we all knew Hugh Jackman, the rumor mill has been, and I'm going to state this because I don't want people to come at me in the comments or be like, yo, you're saying this is fact. No, folks, I'm not claiming this is fact. I look at reviews, I look at all the aggregators, I look at the news sites, Deadline, Screen Rant, you know, comicbook.com, and they all say rumors. So I am clarifying this as a rumor that we are getting War World with the last Spider-Man, which rumor is, and the rumor has been for about the last year, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Wolverine leading a team to get us through that series. Now, the other rumor has been that we're going to see the Beyonder because And you have to see the Beyonder because that's the story from the comics. So the Beyonder comes to Earth and he creates this whole war amongst the heroes and the villains, and they basically, fight the Beyonder. How does this link to the MCU proper? That's an excellent question. I don't know how it's going to link to the MCU proper. Doom eventually takes over, and Doom becomes God. Galactus is around. Without the Fantastic Four movie in place, you can't really do War World justice without introducing Doctor Doom, Galactus, Silver Surfer. There's so many key elements you have to introduce that we as fans are hoping we see. You know, am I wishful? Am I hopeful? Yes. We'll see what happens. You know, but that's where I'm leaving that at. It's the rumor mill is rumors for rumor's sake. All right, it's 11:45. So I'm gonna give about 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna hit the road jack because I want to go get some stuff. I want to get Peanut some lunch. Like I said, we're doing our little lunch date, and then I gotta go hit the comic book store, and I'm gonna hopefully get my store credit today, which means I'll be coming home with a hot toy. I'll be borrowing Seth hot toys. So I'll be coming home with a hot toy. Hopefully, you guys will see that in my comic haul. If you guys watch Comic Chat, that's the video I do on Wednesdays, or I usually film it Wednesdays and I release it Thursdays, and it is the haul for the week of comic books. So you guys see the comic books I grabbed and if anything else that I've grabbed while I was getting the comic book haul. So that's gonna be fun. What else? Deadpool. I can mention some Fortnite stuff. So there has been a rumor going around that the Fortnite Epic company has been bought by Disney, which we knew that's not really a rumor. It's kind of been proven. Disney now owns like 39% of the stock in Epic Games, which is the owners of Fortnite and several other game licenses. So, okay, cool. Now, currently, the current run of Fortnite this season has been Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we got Shredder. Yeah, if you have the battle pass for the Shredder, you get to get Shred. You buy the Shredder character, and then you get the Super Shredder skin as well. And then you can buy Splinter, April, and the Turtles, which I have all those already. Now, rumors have been flying all over the internet, and they're just that rumors, unsubstantiated, because Epic has not said anything about this. Is that there are Mighty Morphing Power Rangers skins coming? No, that is not anything that's on their radar. It's not on the current battle pass. It's not even for the next season. So the next season starts March 8th. For those of you that are active Fortnite players like myself, March 8th is the next season of Fortnite. So they've already said that, we're finishing out this season kind of on the Ninja Turtles. We did Transformers. We've done Marvel skins. And they're re-bringing out, they've been doing also the Fortnite original skins. So characters that are original just to the Fortnite games are coming out as character skins to play across all the different Fortnite mini games you can play in Fortnite. So why am I mentioning so oh, you're playing what was it Fantasy Star? Nice. Yeah, Fortnite already has like 3 King Osier maps. So the rumor that people keep posting about, and I have seen people jump to the defense of YouTubers and jump to the defense of these people. That's fine. I'm not hating on them, but I am going to correct people. There is no future plans as per Epic, their website, their Twitter, which is their X, their Twitter, their Facebook, their Instagram, their devs. Nothing has been talked about Power Rangers. I doubt it because the IP is pretty dead, and the IP really would only appeal to true older generation fans. So the IP that just got bought was Disney. Disney has bought into it. Would I expect to see more Marvel, more Disney stuff? Yes. Do I expect to see Power Rangers? It's owned by Disney. I could, but there's nothing in the for as far as what we know, this next season and this current season, nothing's being discussed. And Fortnite seasons usually run 3 to 4 months. Yeah, I've heard about the Street Fighter crossover from the thing, but Mirage, I'm gonna be real with you. I I feel like it's clickbait. A lot of the YouTubers that are mentioning this is clickbait, and it's not just one. It's like 6, 7 YouTubers I've seen claim it, and it's not real. That was from the mobile game. Ryu in the Ranger form was his mobile game form because it was Ryu, Chun Li, Ken, Guile, and Cammy. Hey, EC, what's up? And I feel like it's clickbait because everybody's taking those images are not epic images. Like I actually reached out to one of my buddies who is an intern at Epic, and I'm not gonna say his name, but I reached out to him, and he was like, "Yeah, there's nothing going on about this. Like, it's like there's no internal talks, there's no internal memos, you know, there's nothing." So I understand you want people want to get content for content's sake, but let's be real. Stop bullshitting people. Stop putting the fake news out there. We're not going to put the hope and belief that we're going to get this. It may, if it comes, awesome. But Epic would be the first place to they would blast it all over their social media like they do everything. Whenever and you would also see YouTubers that are Fortnite streamers mentioning it. None of the Fortnite streamers have said anything about this. None of them. None of the big Fortnite streamers, none of the big Warzone streamers, all the guys that are diehard streamers for this content have said nothing about this. So please, people, be where you consume your stuff. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, and it's like Super Sentai would be like, because I have seen there's a game on PlayStation Store that's like a Super Sentai game with Toho, and like you get to play like Ultraman, Godzilla, Gigan, Ghidorah, and you get to play like you pay. It's like the game is free. The base game is free, but then you buy like these add-on packs and you can play as these characters. I was like, that's freaking dope. Now I'm just waiting for them to do a Power Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. That would be dope. Godzilla versus the Power Rangers, like that would be a freaking dream. So, but yeah, like I keep it a buck with everybody, and whether if the people that are out there that are mad at me for saying it, come shout me out. I'll be the first one to tell you, look at your sources. I know you're saying rumors or rumors or rumors or rumors or rumors, but did you go to Epic's website? Did you go to Epic's Instagram? Did you go to Disney's Instagram? Did you go to their social media? Because Disney hasn't said anything. Hasbro ain't saying shit with Power Rangers. They done took them out the stores. You don't even see them. All you now see are the Megazords, a couple of the Zord pieces. That's it, and the Morphers. You don't even see that, and that's barely at any Targets or WalMarts. So for an IP that's dying here in the States, that's thriving overseas, you really think Epic's gonna go dump money for people to go have to buy 5 or 6 characters for nostalgia? Nah, get the fuck out of here. That ain't gonna happen. And I'm realistic. Whether people want to be mad at me or not, again, I don't give a shit. It's just the reality of it. Like I looked and did the due diligence and the research to be like, it's not happening. So if it does, I'll be pleasantly surprised. But if it doesn't, I'm not surprised. Let's just put it that way. So I'm trying to think. So I want to round this out with any questions from you guys. Is there any questions you guys have for me? Any you know things you want to ask before I get on the road to go celebrate Valentine's Day with this little girl, and then my wife and my daughter later? And be safe today, folks. I know today can be a little bit rough for my single guy and girlfriends. I do have several friends that are single or widowed or you know being divorced around this time. It's never easy. I've been alone at Valentine's Day before. It sucks. Um, just realize that if you got kids, a boy or a little girl, or a son or a daughter, they're your Valentine. You love them. You spend you if you have your family, like siblings. Like I always text my sister. I love my sisters. I text my sister. All three of my sisters are boyfriend up. I'll still text them and say I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. My mother-in-law. I send her a happy Valentine's Day. You know, I said if my mom was alive, I would have wished her happy Valentine's Day too. And I know it's a pre-manufactured holiday, but folks, you don't need a day to say I love you to anybody. Like I said, treat yourself, love yourself. That's the first thing you should do. So I'm gonna give you guys another minute or two, and if not, then I'm gonna head on the road, Jack, because like I said, I got a lot of stuff to do, and I'd like to get back in time to film comic chats. Downfall of Power Rangers and Super Sentai going powerful. What a contrast. Yeah, it's kind of odd irony that Power Rangers here is being pushed by probably the largest media conglomerate in the world of Disney, you know, and owned by Disney. And they can't get a break here in the US. But look overseas in Asia, like if you look in China, Korea, Japan, and then you look at South America and the fans here in America and North America and Canada, man, Super Sentai is going strong. Common Rider, King Ozier. Ozier's finishing up. And we already got the next Kamen Rider show being talked about. Or not Kamen Rider, the Super Sentai show being talked about. Kamen Rider Gotchard is up to episode 22. You know, it's crazy to think how far things have come. Ultraman starting its new show. Garo is in its sixth episode this week of its new show. I mean, it is wildly big, and I'm just surprised that I'm not surprised because there isn't shows here are geared towards marketing more than they are about the actual show versus how in Japan shows are marketed to kids and marketed to adults, but the merchandise is like secondary to or even tertiary to the actual show. So, but again, folks, I thank you guys for coming in and spending this time with me. I've really had a good time. I'm going to go enjoy my Valentine's Day with my littlest one. But let me actually wait. Sorry, Mirage gets me. He's been hitting me hard with some of these good ones. So I remember looking at this Power Rangers page, but the only Super Sentai thing they mentioned is the upcoming one, and needless to say, they implied they don't like it. See, here's the thing: if you like Power Rangers, you should love Super Sentai because that was the progenitor. That was the beginning, you know? Super Sentai was what started it all. And if you can't appreciate that Power Rangers Mighty Morphin was ZU Ranger, then you really aren't a true fan of the genre. You just like the American stuff. And the American stuff is good, yeah, for what it is. But you need to be mindful of where things come from. You can't just say, "Oh, I love it. It's this great. This is the American version's the best version ever. Go America!" But you shit all over the Japanese version. I'm sorry, the Japanese version's far superior. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The Japanese version is far superior of every version of these shows, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I would like to actually have you guys comment in the comment section if you guys think that I should do a whole Super Sentai versus the Power Rangers in the States. I have talked about it. I've wanted to do it. If you guys are interested, let me know because I would love to get some of these YouTubers that are diehard American Power Ranger fans that don't like Super Sentai on the show to fight with them. Not to fight with them like physically, but to like verbally bring it back and see why do you think the American version is so superior, but like proof positive that it's failing. See, Mirage? Now, Mirage, what I want you to do after this video ends, I want you to go to my comment section, be that first comment, say I want, and shout out some of these channels. Shout out a channel you want me to go talk to and see if I get them to come on. I will gladly do it. Gladly do it. All right, folks, that's my time. I love you all. Enjoy. Be safe this Valentine's Day and every day, and stay geeky, y'all. Peace.